Hey everyone, welcome back to Pocket Coaching. I'm Penny. I'm here with Katie. We are Pet and Parent Longevity, bringing you solutions and answers to how you can live younger, longer together with full health span, fullness of joy. So we've been looking at some of the things that actually really cause the pain. Like what is the situation that you're facing that's making you interested in longevity, in building up immune resilience, in looking at how can you extend lifespan. And one of the things that is very real for a lot of my clients and was very real for me is knowledge that you can't dodge the bullet that's coming. And what I mean by that is, you know that the day you become a pet parent, you're going to be saying goodbye to them at some point. Like the chances of them outliving you is pretty remote. We trade that off because we know all the joy that can be shared in that lifespan together. We know all of the amazing things of animals in our lives. But there's no denying that as they get older and older, and perhaps you even start to see some of that, you like a little bit of gray around the muzzle, or a little bit slow to hear, or starting to slow down on the back legs, or can't jump so high as, whatever. You start to see that, and it starts to put that stone in your heart where you go, time is ticking. Time is ticking. How can I slow down time? How do I make it last longer? How can I make sure that the rest of the time that we have is as amazing as possible, as free as possible, that they're not going to get some horrible diagnosis? And maybe it even comes when there is a diagnosis and all of a sudden, actually that time is even shorter than you think, because according to the conventional medical profession, they start putting deadlines on things and say, yeah, you got this much long, right? Don't listen to that. Just please don't listen to that. But the moment of that stone kind of dropping into the bottom of your heart and making that clang like at the bottom of an empty well, and it echoes up through your entire being, and you now can't escape that thought. How much time is left? What can I do? How do I slow this down? How do I buy them more time? So you might have guessed I've been there, and I know that so have a lot of you guys, because why else would you care, you know this. But here's the thing, we can slow that down, we can extend the remaining time. And this is something that I get so cross that most people are not being told. And so you'll hear it from me over and over and over again. Yes, there's more you can do, there's more time. I'm going to give it to Katie for a second because I could otherwise talk forever on this.
Yeah, what you're saying really resonates with me right now too. I have an aging dog. She's 16, and it's hard to look at the changes and not feel that twinge of sadness. Like, even if it's not a bad we change as we get older. We slow down a little bit, even the minor things, oh, she doesn't love her ball anymore, because that carries with it that heaviness of what you're getting closer to. And, I think so many of us see this and experience this with our, aging generations ahead of us, our loved ones who are getting older, and maybe even ourselves as we're reaching those years, and knowing that we're all going to die, and not wanting to experience for ourselves, our loved ones, versus, whether it's our human loved ones or our animal loved ones, not wanting them to experience that decline. And that is so human of us. And instead of sitting in that place and kind of wallowing in it and feeling that sadness and sorrow, knowing that there's so much you can do to extend their vitality and extend their healthy years and not experience that, when we think of aging, we synonymously think of getting sick. And that doesn't have to be the case. And I think that's really key is, yes, are we going to be sad when our loved ones pass away? Absolutely. But we don't have to mourn them before they're gone. And we don't have to mourn their illness and their disease and their suffering if that doesn't happen. And knowing that there's so many actions, so many things we can do, so much agency that we have to prevent that decline or at least slow it down, depending on where you're starting. And the sooner you can start, the better. I mean, if you've ever experienced this, with a prior pet or family member, you know that. But as you're seeing that happen, you can start now. You don't have to wait.
No, and the sooner you begin, the more impact that you have, because as we've talked about several times before, the 7 pillars framework that we work with and teach you and just try and give to you all the time is a compound interest kind of thing. You build here, it's going to give you results over there. It's a whole body system. It's addressing the entire biology of your aging process. And when you do that at that holistic level, it builds on itself and the brakes start going on, right? The brakes are being pushed down on the speed of aging. So your inflammation is going to go down. And as a result, symptoms are going to disappear or never arise. Things are going to start to reverse and go into optimization, right? And the earlier you start, yes, the better, but there's no time that's too late to do that. And people have had, so-called expert diagnoses of how much longer a person or a pet has, according to, a guesswork thing and some statistics of other patients, right? But these are other patients and statistics that haven't utilized a 7 pillars framework. These are people who've just let nature, quote unquote, take its course and just let it unroll. So of course that's a short period of time, right? Here's the thing, that doesn't have to be your choice. You can choose to say, do you know what, I'm going to put those brakes on. I'm going to build those things in now. I'm going to do it across the board. It's going to be compound interest. Time is going to get added in here. Symptoms are going to disappear there. We're starting to see optimism here, vitality coming back. And as soon as you start to see that, you build up your confidence and go, this is working. I'm not going to give up. I can keep doing this. Right. And now your positive vibes are coming out, your energy is lifting, and that's transferring across to your pets, or that hope starts bubbling up and infecting your aged parents or whoever it might be, and they start to get the sparkle because they're like, yeah, it's working. What she said was true. It's taking effect. I am not this victim that the medical profession says I am. I'm unhooked from that, and I'm setting my own course. And so this whole body approach to slow and optimize, start it now. Even if you're looking down that barrel, right, and you see or are being told a time frame, right? We're always guessing the time frames, right? But don't let that be what you focus on. Focus on what you can do.
At next week's workshop, we're going to do an overview of these 7 pillars and how they really come together to foster, literally at a genetic level, at a DNA, at a cellular level, fostering longevity, fostering health, and like you said, Penny, this holistic approach, meaning whole lifestyle, whole body. So come to the workshop. We're going to do an overview of the 7 pillars, and we're going to do a deep dive into nutrition, because if you're here, we know you know the basics. We're going to go deeper. We're going to talk about medicinal and therapeutic foods and timing and the what and the when and the how, and how all of these pieces really come together to prevent decline and often even reverse it. So join us next week. We'll share the link here to sign up, and we'll see you there.